Now let's talk about Hong Kong. Once known as Asia's financial hub, the city is now kryptonite for big business. And the reason is China's Communist Party. 4 years ago, China passed a national security law. A very controversial law. It killed the autonomy of Hong Kong. It dissolved the one country, two systems model. Now Beijing has pushed a new set of rules. And they further tightened Beijing's grip on the city of Hong Kong. They passed a new national security law. Hong Kong's chief executive has called it historic.
Today marks a historic moment for Hong Kong, a moment that has been awaited for 26 years, 8 months and 19 days. It is the historic moment when the 6th administration of the Special Administrative Region and the 7th Legislative Council have finally completed their glorious mission. This represents a proud moment in the glorious history of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region.
But as far as businesses are concerned, there is nothing to celebrate here, and I'll tell you why. This new national security law builds on the previous legislation. And you know why businesses the world over were drawn to Hong Kong? Because it encouraged capitalism without enforcing the strict rules of mainland China. Workers, especially from the West, could enjoy the freedoms that they were used to back home. And they could enjoy these freedoms while they worked in Hong Kong. But this new national security law effectively ends all those freedoms. The provisions empower Beijing. The new law will allow China to exert its influence on businesses operating out of Hong Kong. It empowers the police to detain suspects for up to 16 days without charge. And if that wasn't bad enough, the new law also gives Hong Kong's chief executive sweeping powers. He can now directly ban organizations, even companies, from operating in Hong Kong. And the phrasing is quite vague. The law says companies can be banned if they are found, and I'm quoting, working for foreign forces. But what does that mean? What is Beijing's definition of working for foreign forces? The law does not spell it out. Neither does Beijing care to explain. It lists the punishment for offenses like treason, sabotage, sedition, theft of state secrets, external interference, but the law does not explain what constitutes treason, what qualifies as a theft of state secrets. If an employee decides to finish some work home, if they decide to take some files from work to their place, does that mean that they're stealing secrets? And the law has several such vague provisions, which means that they can be interpreted in a variety of ways, in ways that suit the state. And this ambiguity is a big risk for any business. Why would anyone want to work in Hong Kong if they constantly have to look over their shoulder? The writing is on the wall, it seems. Hong Kong is no longer safe for business.
Yeah, I think it's a clear repudiation of the city's history as being a basically Western-oriented liberal place, now to make it much more in line with current China, Xi Jinping's China.
Prominent economists agree. Stephen Roach is one of them. He's a well-known economist and the former chairman of Morgan Stanley Asia. Now, Roach used to be bullish about Hong Kong, but he now holds a very different opinion about the city, and this is what he wrote recently. It pains me to say Hong Kong is over. And the Americans agree, it seems. American businesses are leaving Hong Kong. Just a little over 1,200 companies operate in the city now, and this is the lowest since the year 2004. Big money is also leaving Hong Kong. Investors are withdrawing funds. In January this year, global funds sold thousands of shares. They offloaded stakes worth $2 billion. This mass exit has benefited India. Earlier this year, Indian markets surpassed Hong Kong, becoming the 4th largest in the world. And Hong Kong has tried its best to arrest this decline. Lawmakers have promised to revive the economy and keep businesses and investors in the city, but these assurances sound hollow. The environment has completely changed in Hong Kong. Foreign companies are operating in fear. Reports say some of them have enforced new rules for their employees who work in Hong Kong. Their access to company databases has been limited. And some of these employees are now using burner phones. This new national security law will only make the life of these employees harder.